Chapter 3, Yuan Tribe. Yan Mo got a scoop of water and had to resist swallowing it in one go, and he drank slowly. While Yan Mo was drinking water, the man spoke to the fat dog coming over and took something from the weed grass rope on his waist to the brawny man with a slightly convex belly. The fat dog nodded and stuffed it. He went straight into the straw shed and picked up a serious wounded beast that looked like a dog with a broken limb, and did a laparotomy. The man looked at Yan Mo, who drank the water from the wooden scoop. He took the wooden scoop and picked up the blood from the beast's neck. He handed it to Yan Mo again. Drink. Drink the blood of the beast. Well, this is also a supplement to the body. A way of making up salt and nutrients. Yan Mo endured nausea and silently held the wooden scoop to drink the blood of the beast inside. He doesn't know if this body has become accustomed to this kind of diet. Yan Mo found that although it was psychologically unacceptable, he did not have nausea or vomiting sensation. During this time, the man went to pick up the leaves of the Cirsium plant and gave them to Yan Mo hold. Wiping his lips, Yan Mo expressed his sincere gratitude to the man. He was the same man who pulled his hair, but he thanked him anyway. The man grabbed Yan Mo's arm, rubbed his broken leg, and changed the iron shackle into a rope clip. Yan Mo thanked him in his heart. He had been shackled before. The uncomfortableness of it, one would mention it. If the man dares to take him away, he will spit him if he is not good. It was not comfortable to be pulled by the armpit, and Yan Mo endured the pain and watched the surrounding scene as he was dragged. This is not a harmonious tribe. This is the first impression of Yan Mo about this tribe. In the square, the man said 2 words in addition to the fat dog. The men and women around him, they did not even look at him, so naturally no one greeted him. From the square, he can see a very large fence. The people here live in tents built with animal skins. The fences are like planned housing. There is a dirt road in the middle that can accommodate 2 carriages. There are tents on both sides of the dirt road. There were some people at the mouth of the tent and on the road, but Yan Mo didn't see the man and anyone talking to each other, and no one was talking to him. Most of the pedestrians were walking, and the people sitting in the tent were busy with various activities. The square was in the middle of the fence. The tents in the fence below the square are quite simple and small, but the tents above the square are much larger and neat. The man did not go long, and Yan Mo was dragged and they entered a path. Yan Mo sneaked into the tent. It was the better the tent among all. It looked like the king's worth, and the warriors in the leather skirt are guarded at the door. This place of residence seems to be a gentle mountain shack. Yan Mo guesses that the foot of the mountain is the residence of the poor and the slaves. The higher one goes along the residence, the higher the household status. The man who turned home shortly after passing the square obviously has a status in this tribe. Yan Mo looked all the way, after turning in from the path, starting from the first row of tents along the big dirt road. The man's tent was located in the 4th row and the last row. The spacing of each row of tents is equal, just like army barracks, but the men and women who are busy working in front of the tents are normal with no distinction. Most of the people here only have a leather skirt or a grass skirt covering the bottom, and the women are naked on the upper body. The children are running around in a red strips, and a few old people are also naked. The tent area is not completely quiet. The children's screams and that of the adults sounded. From time to time, there will be some screams coming from some tents. Yuan Zhan, weren't you talking about bringing meat? What is this? Finally, someone greeted the man. The man named Yuan Zhan took Yan Mo to the door of his tent and said to him, "The meat is not dead, so I had to bring it back." Coming, it was a man who is slightly shorter than Yuan Zhan and has a tattoo on his face. Because of the positional relationship, Yan Mo clearly saw a large shackle hanging under the man's leather skirt, and it was a big swaying thing. Bring that back? As a slave? Is it useful while it's hurt like that? The man poked Yan Mo's face with a terrible disappointment. Even if it is a boy, and can't do much way of work. Yuan Zhan opened his tent, put the curtains on both sides, and casually said, he doesn't want money, free service. It's just as free as it is. It's right, I came looking for something to take with you. The man changed the subject. Wait a minute. Yuan-Jean bypassed Yan Mo, took the slate from the big stone tank outside the tent, dragged Yan Mo to the side of the stone tank, and poured water onto his injured leg. Yan Mo was shaken back to reality by the cold water and couldn't hold back groaning. Yuan-Jean didn't even look at him and poured the water down on the mites, his hands went straight to the wound. Ah! Yan Mo screamed. Yuan-Jean didn't care if he didn't hurt, so he had a locust and stink, and he wanted to enter his tent. I called my slave to help you clean him up. The man took a glimpse at the other end and shouted at the next door, "Cao Ting, come over." A female slave with a nothing on her body got out from the next tent. Make him clean, don't waste water. Yes, Duren. The female slave of unknown age could see the water scoop on the ground from Yuan-Jean. Yuan-Jean saw that the slave took over cleaning Yan Mo, and he was happy to be lazy and beckoned to the man. Come on. The man followed Yuan-Jean into the tent and pulled the curtain down. There are not many things in the tent. The innermost place has few large stones are the base. The straw and fur are the beds. There is a square big stone in the middle as a table. There are no stools. People are sitting cross-legged around UT. There were 2 spears on the wall of the tent, and several sharp bones were hung around the place, along with several leather skirts. There are piles of bones and fur piled up near the corner of the curtain. Yan Mo doesn't know if it's because of these things, there was a strange smell in the tent. Why? The man asked, sitting cross-legged. Yuan-Jean understood what the other party was asking, smiled, and said, because he is hurt like this, not only does not he directly kneel, but also smiles at me, this kid must be very patient slave in the future. Is it? The man thought, then glanced at Yuan-Jean left. Yuan-Jean's eyes sagged slightly and then lifted up. What are you looking for? The man immediately changed his face and looked at him with anger. The tribe has called the third-rank fighters to the chiefs and elders. They have asked to expand the hunting grounds. The sites they applied for were exactly overlapping with others' hunting areas. If the elders agreed, we would have to fight for it. But those people had not much oil and water on the site, and we lack people. The chance of a level beast wrestling is even harder for someone to become a third-rank fighter. Yuan-Jean knocked on his knee. It's not just an upgrade. It's a problem to get enough food for this winter. That's it, and you're still much more aware it's better to keep living, but if that one can't live, you can kill him in the winter. As your exclusive slave, you don't have to divide his meat into the tribe at least. You came looking for me, you didn't just come here to complain about my slave. Is there something? Complaining? I am looking for you to ask if you want to. The man leaned over to Yuan-Jean, and his voice was getting lower and lower. At the tent mouth, Yan Mo entered the tent with Yuan-Jean and immediately put a smile on Cao Ting. Sister, what do you think? I learned healing from the priest. Cao Ting is a very gentle female slave. He looked at Yan Mo's painful cold sweat face, she can't help but reach out and wipe it for him. You are a disciple of a healing priest? Then how come you were brought back to be a slave? I am a Salt Mountain people. Our family has been robbed by the G people for our living in the world. We were attacked by wild beasts during the migration. Needless to say, Cao Ting has already understood why Yan Mo is here. Her eyes showed sympathy and helplessness to his fate. What is your name? My name is Yan Mo. Yan Mo? Then I will call you Little Mo. You can call me Cao Ting. Sister Cao Ting. Yan Mo completely ignores his normal age and tries his best to take advantage of this body age. Sister, can you help me burn a pot of boiling water? I want to use it. Yan Mo propped up and sat up with the help of Cao Ting. There is a fire pit and there is a water tank placed outside the tent. For fire outbreak prevention, the fire pit for cooking is next to the water tank. The pot is not a wok, but a large stone pot that is hollowed out with ground stones. It looks heavy, but Yan Mo saw Cao Ting seems to have put the stone pot on the fire pit without much effort. Sister, is there a knife here? Yes, you wait, I will bring it. The stone knife that has been carefully polished is a valuable item and will not be placed outside the tent. Sister, wait, is there? Whatever Yan Mo wanted to say was swallowed back in the mouth. He didn't think they would understand the word for needle. Cao Ting, what else do you need? Wood, if there are no planks, the sticks will do. How big do you want? I will go back and look for it. There is less wood here. If I have to use the big chunks of wood I have to ask Duren permission. The branches are also okay. Yan Mo roughly made a plan. He took a look at the length and width of the wooden stick he needed, and he also had a fixed straw rope with Cao Ting. Give me some salt. There is not enough, Duren must permit it. Cao Ting looked for a wooden stick with ease, but because Yan Mo also needs salt, he does not dare to do it without permission. She can only whisper outside the tent to call her own master. The man came out with Yuan Zhan and heard what Yan Mo needed. Yuan Zhan took the salt in the tent himself. The man left Cao Ting to Yuan Zhan and went to another tent. Yuan Zhan gave the salt to Cao Ting and took the spear going out. The day was not black. He wanted to go out and see if he could get some extra prey and fruit. In addition, he brought Yan Mo back and had to hand over 20% of the meat to the horde because he had an extra mouth around to feed called Yan Mo. Cao Ting told Yan Mo as they were waiting for the water. The warrior of this tribe is up 4th rank fighter. The only 4th rank fighter can be a tribe chief. The 3rd rank fighters must take turns to hunt and get the prey for the tribe according to the weight assigned by the tribe. In the days when it is not the fighter's turn, the warriors can go out and look for prey by themselves. If they find something, they will give 20% to the tribe, and the other 80% will be owned by the hunters/fighters themselves. It looked very good, but the beasts around the horde are very powerful. They can be hunted but not by a single warrior, and there are not many beasts in the nearer range. The warriors are divided into hunting grounds according to their level. The lower the level, the fewer beasts there are in the ground. Sometimes warriors who do not rotate will join forces to go hunting, but in order to ensure the survival interests of the entire tribe, the places they go to can only be the hunting ranges defined by the tribe, or the strange places that aren't assigned. Civilians without combat power are responsible for all other chores, and civilians without combat power refer here are the old and the weak. Slaves are divided into 2 categories, one belonging to the tribe. These slaves usually do the hardest and most tiring work. The ones who are kept to be eaten. They are generally responsible for farming, grazing, skin grafting, grinding stones, etc. Sometimes they are used as a reserve food in the winter when food is scarce. The warriors above 2nd rank can have their own slaves. They can only have 1 slave a 2nd rank and 2 slaves at the 3rd level. The higher the level of the warrior, the more slaves and wealth they can have. The slave that belongs to the warrior is treated better than the tribe slave. If you encounter a benevolent master, you can even live better than a civilian. But if you encounter a bad master, it will be very misery for you. The rations distributed by the tribe do not go to the slaves. If the warriors want to have slaves, they must feed them on their own. My master is called Yuan Diao. Only the warriors in the tribe can have the tribe's surname. Our tribe is called Yuan tribe. It is said that in this grassland and the margin of the desert this tribe has been living for hundreds of years. It is one of the larger tribes nearby. You said you are from the Salt Mountain tribe. I know that your family is bigger than our original tribe. We have transactions with your tribes. You will probably see them on the trading day in the future. Yan Mo understands Cao Ting good intentions and she reminds him. Yan Mo thought that as long as the Ji people didn't come to he wouldn't care for them. Are you using herbs? Cao Ting asked curiously. Yes. His master Yuan Zhan did not have equipment suitable for grinding work. He could only find something to make up for it. He asked for a small stone pot. There is no concept of a dish here, a big bone stick, and then the leaves of the Circeum plant were smashed into the stone pot. The water was boiling. Yan Mo put the stone knife in to cook. The stone knife was cooked and he boiled some salt water. Yuan Zhan provided a coarse salt containing a lot of minerals, which is yellowish black. This salt cannot be used directly even when it is cooked. It has to be filtered. He then used the stone knife sterilized by boiling water to scrape the pus and dead tissues from the wound, including those worms that ate at the rotten tissues. Yan Mo was in so much pain that his hand was shaking, but no one here could help him. Cao Ting didn't dare to help and she couldn't even dare to look at the wounds. They are desert lands people, but not everyone can be a healer. This slave looks some who is not only used to see blood, but also enough to calm. Hand stability is more important. Why did you boil the stone knife in the water? Cao Ting watched Yan Mo using the stone knife to scrape and cut through the wound. Disinfection. Yan Mo scraped off all the dead tissues and the dirt attached to the wound. He was about to wash the wound with filtered salt that had been boiled twice and repeatedly until he saw the white light appear again in the right palm. Yan Mo looked up. Did he see Cao Ting? And Cao Ting, who was busy grinding the burrs on the stick, did not notice his palm changes. Suddenly, there was a shouting in the distance. Yan Mo couldn't wait to see the change of the palm. Cao Ting stood up and looked ahead. The shouting is getting closer and closer, and it is actually running towards them. Someone ran over them and shouted loudly at the tent next door to Yuan Zhan. A woman rushed out of the tent and ran as he followed. There were 2 children running in the tent and they ran along. In a short while, a screaming cry suddenly sounded.